Oh my goodness, look at that. It looks like our friend Matthew Lloyd, who needs to be whipped out in the Star Citizen universe, just blown to pieces, and teach him a little bit of modesty. Next highest question with 7 comes from Matthew Lloyd. If you could build any house as your primary residence in any location with any amenities, what would that look like? Who would your top 5 neighbors be? That's a great question. I would certainly make an effort to make the house look like it belongs where it is. That alone is a pretty big deal. Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water is just a classic example of that. That's why that house is such genius. It looks like the house looks like the house looks like it just came out of the landscape. That the landscape and the house have been there for millions of years, and one's as much a part of the land as each other. So that is the first step. I tend to like modern and kind of clean designs. I've never been a real, I don't much like frilly curtains. I don't like much ornamentation. I don't like serifs on fonts. I like clean lines, and simplicity. I like a lot of glass too, a lot of windows. Really, if you're going to talk about a dream house, there's no reason to build a dream house where you don't have a great view. I mean, that's the reason you plunk down someplace. If I'm assuming, and I'm sure this is your intention, that you basically got unlimited resources. You can do what you want to. Obviously, I lived in many places where the view was not good. In fact, I spent 11 years when I started writing, and up through about halfway through PJTV, where my view out the window was another apartment window 6 feet away. Couldn't see any sky at all from there. So it would be the view, and I don't know exactly where it would be, but I do know it's going to be in the northwestern hemisphere. It's going to be in the northern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. Of those things, I'm pretty sure, but I am 100% sure it's going to be in the northern hemisphere. Mountains are great. Lake Tahoe is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. Lake Tahoe just sucked the air out of my lungs because you turn around, you can't see it. You're on a windy road, and you just turn a corner, and ta-da, there it is. It's absolutely gorgeous. Coeur d'Alene is the same kind of effect, but not as rugged, not as dramatic, but a lot more accessible, a lot more livable. So yeah, that's what I would do. And it's funny because I spend so much time trying to get people out of this earth is dying thing. But I would take advantage of whatever natural energy sources I could. It would be really great to have a freshwater well. It'd be great to have either a little windmill. I have a friend who's the smartest guy I know, and he has some property in Idaho, and he has put out a very large solar cell array. So basically, he sells electricity to the electric company during the daytime, and then he buys it back at night. And it's pretty much zero. He doesn't really have an electrical bill because he's generating electricity, and that it has to go into the grid, and they have to pay for it. So I don't think they pay as much as they charge, but essentially he's power self-sufficient. Elon Musk has, in addition to the many other things he's doing, had shown off about a year ago or so, almost looked like a wall sculpture, strange kind of looking, kind of molded, sculpted oval, which is a battery, and which apparently you can run your house on for 3 or 4 days or something. And that would be great, because if you had batteries are and have been the weak link in everything. If batteries are keeping us from everything. It's batteries that are keeping us from electric planes. It's batteries. They're just terrible, and everything has advanced by leaps and bounds except for batteries, which makes sense. They're practical items, and they have to have a certain size, presumably. But if you had a big battery like that on the wall, and you could charge your battery, you'd be self-sufficient. There's something very nice about that, and something very reassuring about that as well. I think, given the situation today, I would certainly not want to be out in a cabin in the wilderness, but I would like to be in a community of people who who get it and who understand the value of hard work and everything, and who are prepared to defend themselves. I think that would be an important consideration. If we ever do get together and start a conservative confederation or a conservative republic or just a conservative state or a conservative county, I'd certainly be willing to volunteer my long easy and be part of the, you know, Northwestern Idaho Air Force Strike Command. I would not only fly in that, I'd design a bitchin' logo for it too. Okay, let's see what we got next.